Hi there. So, what's the best way to negotiate and get yourself the best deal from a car dealer? We have a policy where we actually don't discount our cars. The price that we list them at are the price we sell for. There may be one or two exceptions to that. For instance, if the car has just arrived to us and it's got a small mark on it that we're planning to get painted, if it's going to cost us a certain amount of money to do that work and the customer's happy to take the car with the as it is, then maybe there's some room for negotiation there. But in the main, we don't. But this is really about the fact that most dealerships will actually allow a bit of a margin to actually negotiate. And what you want to know as a customer is, what's the best way? How can I get the most or the best deal from this purchase? The biggest mistake you can make if you're seeing a car dealer or you've gone to a garage and the car is listed at, say, for instance, £10,000. If you say to that dealer, I'll tell you what, I'll offer you 8,200. It's not going to happen. And all that's going to happen is the dealer is going to turn around and think, this person is not serious. I'm literally not even going to start negotiations. It's completely pointless. Some people do feel like by asking a massive chunk off, it's all of a sudden going to get you this fantastic deal. Honestly, it has the opposite effect. If someone comes into my garage and says, they want the car at half price or, £1,000, £2,000 off, I know they're not serious. And I know we're just never going to get to a figure. So if you want a good deal, then you have to think of a figure that's actually going to be viable. The bottom line is you want to buy the car. The dealer wants to sell you the car, but the dealer has to make a profit. There has to be a margin in it. They need to be able to prep the car. They've obviously prepped the car already. They're going to be doing other work to the car. They've got to warranty the car. They've got VAT to pay, etc., etc. So, the fact of the matter is, there is only going to be so much margin in that car. So my advice is go in at a figure that's fair and reasonable and shows that actually you're a serious buyer. Otherwise, you're just not going to get taken seriously. If the car is £10,000, I'd probably be going in at maybe £500-600, off of that. And you're going to get a feel for whether or not the dealer's taking you seriously, whether or not there is any margin. The dealer might turn around and say, actually, no, we don't discount the cars, in which case where you're going. That probably the best you're going to do is get a free service, set of mats, whatever it might be. If, however, that dealer has had the car for 60, 90, 120 days, they may well want to be out of that car. So that's when you're going to get a feel for it. If you lock down and fix to your figure, then again, you're probably not going to come out with buying that vehicle. And if you've really spent time, invested time doing your homework and everything, and you feel like it's right for you, it probably is. So my advice is, when you negotiate, be a bit more flexible, be reasonable in your expectation, because the reality is, if the car is a good car, then actually it's probably going to be price just about right. So have a figure in mind, be prepared to move, be prepared to negotiate, be prepared to compromise. Don't play too much hardball. You can be too serious, you can be too moody, don't be aggressive, I'm not saying you have to kind of, like cuddle up to the dealer or anything like that, but you got to find a happy medium. At the end of the day, you want to buy the vehicle, you want it to be a pleasant experience. The dealer wants to sell the vehicle, they want it to be a pleasant experience. And this is about compromise, because the reality is that dealer will have spent their money, within a week, 2 weeks. You're going to have that car hopefully for many, many years. So actually, if you get a good deal, you're actually, as a customer, going to come out better off. One of the best ways, of course, of negotiating on price is to try and find some examples. So if you think you've seen a similar vehicle with similar spec, mileage, service history, etc., then draw examples of those. Say, look, I've seen so-and-so. This is the price that I've seen it for. It looks like it's pretty much the same as yours, but there is a bit of a price difference. And if you can show that in reality, it may well be that the prices have moved over the last previous few weeks, etc. But it shows that you've done a bit of homework and you haven't just sort of picked a figure out of the sky. That's probably going to give you the best chance of getting a good deal by having a price comparison. So you'll be happy, the dealer's happy, and you can go away as a happy customer. See you on the next one.